week 3. It's the 22nd right now. Let's talk putting league. We had. I'm glad you wrote it down. Week 1, 115. Week 2 with a snowstorm, still hit 94, which is great. Then week 3 last week, 124. Tyler and Joe with first place tied. Yep.
Tyler and Joe tied with first
20,
place.
which is pretty darn good considering that layout was pretty tough. So, yeah, what's coming up for the week 4? Is there anything special?
Let's see here. Well, before we get back to the 4th week in the new year, I think we have the Bring Your Own Partners doubles.
Yep. 27th.
Putting on the 27th at Northway Brewing. And we're going to run a 9-hole layout, doing 2 laps through a 9-hole layout. And collective score with you and your doubles partner. And we're running $10 per person, $20 a team. Flex start from 3 to 5 p.m. and awards around 6:30. We're also going to have the tech disc set up out there, and we're going to be doing long drive prizes. Probably do high spin prize again.
Nice. Is there going to be an ace for that as well, or?
If there is, we'll keep it separate from our league, just so that this is kind of its own special event. Not that our ace pool didn't get cleared out by multiple people last week again anyway, but
yeah. Yeah, the brewery. When is the brewery open for that day? Do you know? Is it 12 to 8 or something like that, right?
I believe so. And the food truck, I think I saw online, is going to be open from 1 to 7.
So regular hours for Northways, just in case somebody wanted to get there early. So I will.
Yeah, the earliest you'll be able to get out there and start practice putting will be about 2 o'clock. It gives us time to set up the layout, get it ready before people get in there and start practicing.
Yeah, it's good to know. I'm sure there'll be people anxious to play again, knowing we have 2 weeks off. So, but yeah, good start to the year for putting league, averaging 111 a week. Last year at what were we at, like 121.
I think we finished the year last year 124 person average, but early on the first few weeks last year, our player average was probably somewhere around 110, 115.
Right.
And it wasn't until a couple really big pushes towards, I think like week 8 and after that really boosted up those numbers.
Somewhere around the end of the year tends to be bigger. So
yeah,
we tried to beat last year.
Yeah, I think it was 154 last year, the number to beat. So
that's going to be a tough one to beat, but let's see what happens. So, and even then, too, I think at the end of the year when putting league's done, everyone's a little more anxious, obviously, to go play disc golf, but people are still thinking about putting league. So the putting championship in August, I think that's going to... I think
September.
That's the next thing.
Yep.
September, excuse me.
Yep.
People get anxious to already start thinking about that after putting league. So
yeah, absolutely. Exciting. We'll be there. I think it's Monday. Let me see. I can pull it up. I think it's the 21st.
Yes.
If I remember correctly.
Which even, actually, while you're at it, the event schedule, you have events now for the year posted, which...
Yes, the New York State Putting Championship is the 21st. We mentioned the event on the 27th of December. That's the Inside the Putting Arena doubles. As far as the putting schedule goes, Putting Arena will be at Disc East both days, January 24th and January 25th. We'll be at Rock the Dock again on Lake George, presumably the 11th, possibly the 12th. September 21st, like I said, we'll be having the New York State Putting Championships. And then September 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th, we will be set up at Maple Hill. So that's the putting event schedule for next season. For the actual event schedule, we're kicking off 419. We're doing the 420 fling. 426, we're doing a NADGT B tier at Wild West and Thousand Acres. Going into 5926, we're doing the MVP glitch qualifier. That'll be at Portal Pines. We're doing on 627, we're doing the MVP circuit event. That'll be at Stony Pines.
It's exciting.
Yeah, that's actually my personal course here in the backyard, and that'll be the first time it ever sees public play, so pretty excited about that. We're actually working on the course a little bit today, right before this podcast, moving Fallen Tree from hole 3. Anyways, 718 will be another B tier at Albatross Creek, followed by 822, another B tier at the Saw. 9-5 will be doing the Flight for Cancer at Haviland Cove. That's
Nice.
Singles in the morning, doubles in the afternoon kind of deal.
A lot of money raised for a good cause, so.
And then we'll be doing the MVP Space Race at Portal Pines. And finishing out the season 11-7, we'll be doing the Discers for Whiskers on the machine.
Awesome.
So yeah, a lot of stuff in store for next season.
Absolutely. Putting league, is there anything planned special for putting league? Obviously the last week of the year tends to be the big one.
Yep.
A lot more prizes. I know MVP is always hooking it up with a bunch of extra stuff for that, and we know we have the rover carts for the winners. We're giving out, how many you're giving out? 6-7 lab seconds almost every week, something like that.
Yep. We just actually got a couple new boxes of lab seconds in today. We were able to open up one of them, and we're going to open up the second one here pretty soon.
Yep.
We also got a putting league support pack from DFX Disc.
That's exciting.
Yep, and we just went and posted a little video of what was inside that box. So tune in to check that out. We'll be giving away a couple of DFX discs every week. Thank you, DFX. And yeah, 3 rover cards going out at the end of the season, 1 for each division.
Yeah, we'll have to do updates maybe halfway through the year to see kind of where the leaderboards are sitting at. There's a handful of people kind of spreading themselves off from the rest of the leaderboard right now with some solid weeks. I know Tyler and Joe have been killing it like they did last week. So Cody Miller, sneakily, always in there. So
Yep. Yeah, he's pretty consistent.
yeah.
Yeah, I think other than that, we have obviously the Shitty Coolers partnership. So every other week we give out a Shitty Cooler. Usually the later in the season we get, the cooler the prizes get. So we'll probably continue with that trend. I know you do a PAX Elite mystery prize every week.
It's always something random. I think week one we did, I think we paid for half the season of Putting League for the entry. Week 2 was a gift card to Northway, which I was kind of torn at getting the flannel, but you got to pick out sizes. You don't know who's going to win it. So, and then week 3 we did the old Stewart's gift card with a hat. So we'll see what happens next year. I know trying to keep it fresh, but at the same time, there's a lot of repeat prizes that people like. The Thunder tickets was a good one. We might bring that back. So the only way to know is to show up and play and stay to the end. So
yeah, absolutely. At the end of the night, for those that don't know, we do a free raffle. It gives a chance for everybody to win prizes, regardless of performance out on the course that week. So a chance for anyone out there really to leave with a prize. So
yep. And Joel and Jace both donate dyed disc pretty much every week. That's another good one. I still have the Watt, the dyed Watt from Joel. I still haven't thrown it. I'm scared to, but there's a lot of cool prizes. So even if you're new to it, it's a good way to get in there and feel like you left with a win in some sense. So, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think another thing to look forward to is usually about 3 times throughout the season we'll pull a live band in. As you know, we got to rearrange our setup a little bit to accommodate that. So it's nice to do it a few times a season. Certainly
Yeah.
tough to do every week, but
It's a lot of noise
yeah,
in a good way, but there's so much going on sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, but I honestly kind of like the live band. I know it changes your setup where the booth is, but I think week one, I forget the name of the band, but they were fantastic. Chris Cronin, I know him actually. I was surprised to see
it
him.
was it was the Saratoga Strings.
Saratoga Strings, okay,
Yep.
but they were awesome, and it fits. I don't know, it fits the vibe for putting league. It's nice to have the live music. The band obviously interacts with everyone. They're probably a little curious what's going on as well for the event. So
Yeah, there was one point last year where we actually got somebody from the band to go out and try the
Really?
course. So I think he made it maybe through hole 4 and was like, "This is really cool, gotta go." But
yeah,
even just to get him to throw a couple discs is always awesome.
absolutely. Who knows? Maybe he bought a couple nomads after that, right?
You never know. Yeah, actually, we just got another box of loaner discs in, so
And those are
Well, we-
pixels, right?
yeah, we'll be switching off the nomads that we used last season and going into pixels for the loaner putters at Putting League. And we got them in soft, medium, and firm.
Awesome.
Yeah, other than Putting League stuff, really conditions here locally, right? I got to play Crandall yesterday. It was in pretty good shape. All the tees good to go. Fairways maybe an inch or two of snow.
To be expected, right?
Yep, I don't even think you could say 2 inches of snow. Maybe about an inch of snow out there. And then Albatross Creek in good condition. All the tees are cleared. A little bit less snow over there. We heard today that Moreau had a few tees that weren't really cleared, and people were kind of throwing off them anyway. Please don't do that.
Yep, that's breaking the law. So.
Yeah, that makes it tough for those of us that do go out there and actually clear tee pads. Once everybody tramples all over them, it makes it pretty tough.
Jenkinsville, we don't really have much on, but even in the snow, it's really honestly most of the updates have to do with tee pad conditions, anyways, because that's kind of dictates how the course probably plays.
Yeah.
But Jenkinsville tends to be kept pretty well, but that might be something for next week to check in on. So, what other courses? Well, obviously everything else is pretty much closed within our general vicinity. Might be doing a tournament Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Unofficially, more of a if you want to show up and play, we can do some random doubles. So it's not something that's really structured, but if we get enough people, we'll try to put out some. Should be able to put out some CTPs, make it a little fun for everyone before they go out and I don't know, drink eggnog, whatever people do on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and then I think, I don't want to put the wrong date out there, but I think January 17th was the event over there at Pittsford, the Lumberjacks
Yes, the Ice Bowl.
putting together.
Which I need to talk to Chauncey about sponsoring too. So, but that should be fun. I mean, they do a lot of ice bowls, which raise funds for a lot of different causes. If I'm not mistaken, most of it's kind of food pantry oriented. But Chauncey really pushes a lot of that stuff. And I think even carrying on from that, we might see the first Lumberjack disc golf tournament this year, is what I was told. So,
Oh, for sure. I've
gonna
been
be cool.
talking with Chauncey a good bit. I know they intend on doing a couple of the circuit challenges. I
Great,
think they're
yeah.
doing like the glitch, the circuit event, and space race as well.
Awesome.
Yep.
I mean, the drive's the same as Albany, and a lot of the courses we generally play with disc cap too. So it's not really like a it's not like more of a trek than we're used to in some sense, whether it was team challenge last year. So
Yeah, and I really like Pittsburgh. It really gives you a chance to use a good bit of the disc in your bag. It's not really a course you can just go up, throw one mold on every hole. You know what I mean?
well, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I think besides course conditions, events, putting league, what else you got? There's got to be some updates besides Santa coming.
Yeah, we've been gearing up for Christmas here at the house. Certainly excited for that. You know, two kids are pretty hyped up. We've been doing a little bit of work on Stony Pines. We talked about that a little bit earlier. And, you know, we briefly mentioned, you know, the first event ever for the course taking place here, and that's going to be the circuit event. So, you know, that adds a little pressure. We've been working on this course for about 4 years, and we've managed to put in, I don't know, 5 or 6 other courses before finishing the one at home here. So looking forward to having some people check it out. We've got 9 holes here that will be in play with 2 tees on each hole. And so it'll be fun. Offer a space to play that really not too many people at all have played yet.
Oh, absolutely. And I know a lot of, obviously, people within our little inner circle that hang out, set up putting league, do all that. I've been waiting for Stony Pines, but it's going to be really cool to see it on UDisc, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it goes without saying we're not really ready to open it up to the public just yet, so that'll be kind of the first chance to take a glimpse at it, you know. So from there, we'll have to kind of see the future of the course and as far as the public eye is concerned.
I just want my sweatshirt. So that's it. That's it. You think you'll get some discs made for that too? You think trying to look at some Stony Pine stamped something from MVP?
I mean, I would love that. The circuit event does provide you with 3 discs per player to go out there, and I think, you know, we have both white and red tees out on the course, so it'll probably set up pretty good for that particular structure. I wouldn't be surprised. We do have a logo for the course. It has found its way onto some shirts, some hoodies, and that kind of thing in the past, so yeah, I would say it's safe to say we'll see some on some MVP discs.
If that's the prize for the winner,
season.
That's my motivation. I'm winning that. So
I love that.
MA too, but you know.
Yeah, maybe it'll be an optional add-on where, you know, you can add the watermelon disc, and you could add a custom Stony Pine disc as well. But
that'd be a good idea. I think a lot of people will be excited for it. It's been in the works, obviously, from you for a while. So, but it's a good course. It feels like Crandall a little bit, and that sense of like a lot of the courses in our area kind of play like a wooded technical course with not a bunch of distance, but it's still got its challenges. So
for sure. Yeah, and I mean, we got a little bit of a pond on hole 1. Right now it's frozen. Can't lose a disc in it at the moment, which
bring
is
your ice skates.
great. But for the circuit event, you know, that's something you want to keep in mind. There is definitely water in play on hole 1.
Yeah, that's why we'll have Grady and Granger out there grabbing discs, probably,
cruising around in the kayak.
Bring the rolling chair from Northway so they can spin into the lake with it.
Oh yeah, that's something I was going to ask about as well. You know, we've had a few people inquire. Any thoughts on getting the little live stream going again for Putting League?
Yes. We can definitely do a live stream. I think week 1, the band was a little too much for us to try that, but there's no reason not to be able to do that at this point weekly. It doesn't take too much to set up. It's more of, do we want to have a variety every week? Does it need to be the same hole? You know, so there's a little bit of a limitation on setup on what holes you can do, because you have to work around the brewery's infrastructure in some sense, where the outlets are and stuff like that, and not affecting
even the
throws. So
strength of the Wi-Fi kind of comes into play as well.
A little bit, yeah. But I will say the streaming needs to come back. I 100% agree with that. I honestly hadn't even thought about it after week 1 because I've personally been so busy. I know there's a lot of stuff going on with putting league and all the different things we do besides a live band. It's a lot to do. So, but no, live stream should be coming back. And on top of that, with the Glens Falls disc golf page and for Too Far Under Par, I think we should be, without signing ourselves up for something too quickly, but we should be seeing some vlogs maybe of Stony Pines so people can get an idea of the course.
Yeah.
See people play through and start doing more recording of rounds.
For
Get
sure.
some footage. So.
There is a couple of clips of myself and other people out there throwing from time to time. We've definitely had some touring pros pop out there and play when they
ripped off Stony Pines too. So
stayed out there with us. I think Matt Bell's been on it. Philo's been on it.
Oh yeah.
So we've had a couple of people out there.
Well, that's what we need. We need to at the least, Stony Pines would be some good footage to have, especially its first tournament for the year. So, and I assume in the future it might not be open to the public necessarily because it's your backyard, but I assume you'll in the future, once the course is where you want it to be, we'll be seeing some more tournaments there, maybe yearly, once a year or something like that. So.
Yeah, I could see an annual tournament happening. Aside from that, maybe as our club starts to kind of form into the more monthly tag matches and that kind of thing, maybe 1 month we can swing over to Stony Pines and do one over here.
Okay. Might even be able to throw it into the rotation for tags for Glens Falls disc golf eventually. Maybe even not regularly, but
yeah. And you know it's weird. The one schedule we haven't posted, we posted the putting arena schedule and the area event schedule recently, but I'm still a little bit hesitant to post just yet, but we are going to have a league schedule, and that won't just be like our putting league. That will be sanctioned league. We're going to try to have at least 2 of those this year. So who knows? Maybe we'll run a 6-week sanctioned league here. I mean, that would be super fun. So
be awesome.
Maybe that'll be it. Just some type of little league activity and an event annually, and
it's the right spot for it. So I'm looking forward to it. I won't hold you to it, but that would be awesome. And obviously, are you still going to be doing Wild West Sanction League again, you think, in the fall?
Yes, actually I've been chatting with management. Obviously we lined up a couple of dates at that venue already. Sanction League is absolutely on the radar. We want to see if we can hold it at a few different courses, though, this year. Okay. Wild West is fun, but it's, all these places are just a little accessible, a little bit more accessible here in the Glens Falls area as well. And obviously we're here in Hudson Falls, so.
Yeah, I mean, even I think there was the final week of Wild West, we actually had to pivot to Crandall for the final because of a mix-up at the closing. So
yeah, that was tough. The management at Wild West was under the impression that we ended our 6-week league just the week before, so everybody showed up for league and the baskets were gone. Wild. But Jace actually hosted league for me that week. I forget where I was. I was on the road doing something.
Yes. Oh my God, I know what you're talking about too.
But
slipping my mind, but yeah.
Oh, you know what? I was running a work day at the Saw, I believe.
Yep.
And Jace called me, told me, "Hey, there's no baskets here. What do I do?" So we quickly added the Crandall Park layout into the layout tab on League, and I think everybody there ended up just driving to Crandall and playing their sanction round. I don't think anybody bailed on it.
No, everyone was getting texts from each other saying, "Hey, there's no," explaining what's going on. And everyone still showed up, and before we even talked about finishing it and actually doing it for League, everyone was already like, should we just go to Crandall and just play around for the heck of it? So It was already in the works. We know we were going to play disc golf that day, but the fact that Jace got it set up and you helped with that was a fun way to end the league. So, plus it's a lot more forgiving at Crandall, so I think everyone was a little bit happy to end on on an easier note, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you hit bogey free out there, right? That's a little bit more accessible than, say,
It's an easy bogey free, yes.
Wild West.
Wild West is brutal for bogey free. So if anybody got it, congrats, but that's never going to happen for me. So hole 4 every time. That's the one. It's either par or bogey, no matter what. And I know hole 7 we've talked about before. It's either birdie or bogey. So, but no, it was a good season. I want to see the Sanction League come back again. That was a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely pushing to make that happen again. At least one of the seasons at Wild West, and like I said, maybe one at Stony Pines. I know we did 2 terms of Sanction League last season, so we'll probably at least do that.
Is there any plans for the new tags for Glens Falls Disc Golf for the beginning of the year?
No, actually, the ones that are currently out there were good because they came out kind of mid-season last year. So part of the idea was that those be good for both the 2025 and 2026 season.
Okay.
So it should be same tags, rocking and rolling, and yeah, hopefully we'll get more people to join, and we'll get more low tags coming out each week too. Would be nice.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that hold the higher tags, they don't ever try to hold on to them. So it just means the community gets involved. Start having, and again, record your rounds. Make some videos. You're going on playing a tag round with some friends. Just record some videos. Try to get some ace clips, and gets more people wanting to play, more people to want to get a tag. So that's should definitely be a focus for next year. Maybe even the winter, since a little less busy without Team Challenge. So
yeah, and if you don't already follow Glens Falls Disc Golf on Facebook, a lot of what we're up to is posted there. We actually recently reached 1,000 followers there on that page, which is nice. Organically growing to that.
Yeah.
Haven't really ever pushed the like, share, and follow kind of mode on that thing, so nice to see it finally climb there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It feels sort of inauthentic to like a streamer getting for likes and clicks type of thing, but it's more of just keep yourself connected with the community if you want to play disc golf and learn about events and stuff like that. So definitely helps to follow the page, because that's about all I use Facebook for, to be honest with you, is pretty much disc golf. So it's checking Glens Falls Disc Golf, see if anyone's posting. Sometimes there's disc trades, which actually potentially a little event maybe at Northway, a little disc swap you were talking about, right?
Yeah, so on the 27th, that event itself is optional disc swap. Pretty much bring a new wrap disc, leave with a new wrap disc. We'll have a little exchange going on there. But after the 12th week of Putting League, I think we're planning on just doing like a massive disc swap where everybody will come in and bring their bins and set up and bring your used unwanted discs, new unwanted discs, and kind of see if you can trade, wheel and deal right there in the tap room. Probably have some kind of fun little mini event going on, and then we'll be back in September. But aside from that, I know we're talking about ordering a couple of baskets for Northway Brewing to be able to continue keeping putting a thing throughout the season. You'll be able to go over there and practice putting on like an actual nice basket, and grab a beer, grab a taco, whatever you want to do.
You gotta find a way. Someone needs to invent a product that holds a beer and a taco in one hand so you can throw with the other one. So but yeah, I think that's about it, unless you got something else.
Oh, that's it.
Awesome. Well, do it again next week.
Yep.
Keep some updates going, and you got anything, Joel?
No.
Well, we'll see you next week.